Okay, so welcome back. We'll be looking at this short illustration. In our last class, we were trying to look at how to calculate cost of equity. And the first thing we're looking at is actually how to calculate cost of equity. And we are trying to look at the DVM, Dividend Valuation Model, DVM. All right, so but before then, we need to look at the assumptions of DVM. Assumptions of Dividend Valuation Model. All right, what are those assumptions? Number one, DVM assumes that dividend is constant. And where there is growth rate will be constant also. Will be constant. All right, constant throughout. Next assumption is that it is used by companies that pay dividend. All right, so this is actually one of the criticisms of this DVM, because you can't assume that all companies will be paying dividend. There are companies that don't pay dividend. So what that means is anytime that you have a company that is not paying dividend, DVM model becomes irrelevant to that company. Also, the assumption that dividend is constant throughout because of expectation theory. This may not also hold. Also, growth cannot be constant till infinity. This is also one of the criticisms of dividend valuation model. And the last one is that DVM does not consider capital gain. Does not consider capital gain. Capital gain. All right, so all is just looking at just dividend that is paid over the period. All right, so these are the four assumptions of dividend valuation model. And these assumptions also can be used as the criticisms of DVM. All right, so let's look at this small illustration. A company's share price or a company's share has a current market value of $13. Current market value simply means this is the current MPS, how much the company's share is trading in the market. The most recent dividend has just been paid. Simply means that if the most recent dividend has been paid, it means that this market value is automatically ex-div, which means this amount paid has been adjusted on the market value or market price of the share. And they said the dividend paid was $1.5 per share. Estimate the cost of equity, assuming the A part says when annual dividends is expected to remain constant, that is, there's no growth. And the second one says where annual dividend will grow by 4%. All right, so let's look at the A part. The A part, KE, when dividend is constant. All right, so from our formula, we said KE equals to dividend divided by market value of equity ex-div. Since there's no growth, so simply no thinking is required. All we need to do is to get the dividend. Dividend paid now is 1.5. Right, divided by the market value, which is $13. So, and if I divide this effectively, my KE, I would have 1.5 divide 13. That should give me 11.538. So approximately my KE should be 11.54%. Okay, so this is 0.0.0.11538. So my KE becomes 11.54. As simple as that. And so if you look at the B part of this, the B says if annual dividend is going to be growing by 4% each year. So where there's growth, our KE equals to D0 into 1 plus G divided by MVE. Remember, it's still ex-div. And then because of this growth that affect the capitalization plus G. All right. And so what do we do? Our D0 is the dividend now. And our dividend now is 1.5. So we have 1.5 into 1 plus, the growth rate is 4%. 4%, all divided by the market value is $13. This is $13. Then you have plus, the growth is 4%, which is 4%. And so if I do this effectively, I should have 1.5 multiply 1.04 divided by 13 plus 0.04. And then on my calculator, this should give me 1.5 times 1.04 divided by 13, then plus 0.04. 0.04. That should be 0.16, and my KE becomes 16%. All right, so I'm adding the C part here. Assume that the annual dividend will grow by 6% each year. Each year. What do you think will be the cost of equity? C. All right, put your answer on the comments.